Leave this to me.
I'm the main character. Anime protagonist energy.
This is what
Activate! Anticlimactic. So, spoilers, obviously. We're talking the final boss of the core narrative of Monster Hunter Wilds today. So if you've clicked on this video without reading the title or looking at the thumbnail, you've only yourself to blame at this point, because now I've told you as well. Hello again, I am Blunty, and sure, we're still in the honeymoon phase of all this, but right now, I'm just starting to approach the end game loops of this game. I popped HR 40 last night before slumping wearily into bed with very tired eyes, and I am loving it. Man, what a place to start a new generation of Monster Hunter. It is so thrilling. However, while clearly I do not share the mindset that certain people have about particular aspects of this game, as evidenced by yesterday's video, there is one thing I think everyone who has completed the low-rank story is actually agreeing with, in perfect sync with one another. Which I probably don't have to tell you is extremely rare to happen in gaming circles. We argue about everything, don't we? But it is, of course, about the final boss, Zoshia. I think it is one of the best final bosses we've ever had. But I'm also curious to hear what you have to say about that. What do you think the best final boss monster we've ever had is, and why is it this one? It should be this one, I think. Especially if we're just talking about final bosses of base game at launch. Never mind title updates and expansions and whatnot. But because it's so good, there's also an extreme frustration out there. Increasingly large piles of very annoyed players discovering that this epic monster can only be fought once. And it doesn't even have any damn armor sets or weapons. Now, in the story, this makes complete and utter sense. This fella is not a natural species of monster, and like all the other related guardian monsters that preceded it, it was created by the ancient civilization. And as such, like the other guardians, presumably it has no reproductive organs, and it subsists only on the special MacGuffin energy stuff that the plot spins around. But unlike the other artificially created guardian monsters, there is, canonically, only one Zoshia. They only made one of them. Created to be the unsurpassed defender of their civilization, though proving ultimately uncontrollable and then sealed away, but not before decimating the ancient civilization that created it. Now, if you've ever poked around at the deep lore of Monster Hunter in years gone by, you've no doubt stumbled across the story, the concept of the equal dragon weapon, an idea from some of the very earliest days of the game's development. It was an abomination created by the ancient civilization to war against the older dragons. It was Frankensteined together from the parts of dead monsters and even other dead elder dragons. That sounds a little bit familiar, doesn't it? It certainly feels like Zoshia is a reimagining of this long-abandoned bit of early development concept. Except this time, instead of being built for war, it was built for defense. Or at least intended for that. And instead of being assembled from harvested remains of dead monsters in a gruesome Frankenstein's monster fashion, Zoshia is a chimera, genetically engineered from hybridized traits of other monsters. And you can see that in the fight. The stolen Elder Dragon traits and tricks, those Gormagala style wing arms, the very first thing I noticed about it. The face, and I mean the true face of the thing, not the shell, is a little bit Golgmesius, isn't it? The chest and arms feel a bit Elatrian. And of course there's undeniable Fatalis in here, and general Black Dragon parallels in here you see more and more of as the crystalline shell breaks away, which is also kind of like Shara Isralda's rocks, isn't it? Even the moveset recalls several other Elder Dragons and Black Dragon stuff. Heck, there's even some bloody Kirin in here. Can't really see it on the body, but you'll feel it during the fight. It's an amazing experience facing off against this thing, this hybrid monster of elders and black dragons, especially if you manage to come to it spoiler-free, as I did. The only thing I knew about it beforehand was its name, which I saw in a post a few days before launch, and the fact that you can only fight it once, which I saw one of my favorite Monster Hunter content creators pop out a spoiler-friendly warning about on launch day. So, as you can see from my gameplay here, I was very deliberately dancing around. I was taking my time. I was being gentle-ish, not trying to go at it too hard. I wanted to draw the fight out a bit. I wanted to see as much as I could see from it, tease out whatever mechanics this thing has, find out what moves it was capable of. Heck, I even went in planning to cart just so I could extend the fight. Turns out I didn't need to plan to cart because a lack of planning had me roll in without restocking my items. Whoops! Funnily enough, that was the only time during my playthrough I did manage to forget to restock, but all I had was 6 regular potions and my mending mantle to keep me alive. Still though, I managed respectably. I managed to survive 15 minutes before I carted to a very fatalis-feeling room of health-melting fire. And it was awesome. Yeah, you can never repeat this fight, and even if you could, it has no gear to craft from its bits anyway. And that, at least as far as I'm aware in the core games, is unprecedented in Monster Hunter. So it feels pretty damn weird, and frankly, very disappointing, even if it is fully justified within the narrative of the game. There was only one canonical Arkveld also. They're literally extinct, except for this one, which we killed, but we can still fight it repeatedly. Hell, they even did a Jurassic Park to explain it away in the post-credits scene, where we discover that life, finds a way, and the damn thing laid an egg. I want to see the baby Arkveld, by the way. Developers, please let us see the baby Arkveld. And in the older games, we can repeat fights against canonically singular, or at least extremely rare monsters as much as we like. So it's not like the devs are afraid to go against canonical lore for the sake of giving us, gameplay. But here's the thing about all of this. To the people whining about it and thrashing and getting really upset about how you can only fight this thing once, do you really think that these devs, the Monster Hunter devs, designed Zoshia, put all this work into it, all this clear amount of passion that went into designing this thing and its fight? You think they really intended it for it to be something you never get to re-experience unless you play through the entire game again? Nah. I'm betting at some point we get an event quest or a title update that adds this fight in a repeatable form, and very likely also add the craftable armor and weapons at that point too. And I am betting it will be a high rank version of it, with a massively higher level of threat, because reminder, the one you fight in the game right now, that's in the low rank. Imagine fighting a low rank Fatalis and then thinking that was it. Not gonna happen. There's no way this game never gets a repeatable and high rank Zoshia quest. And it's probably going to be one of those quests that flip the script. You know how everyone's whining about how the game is too easy right now? I bet you once this thing comes along, people are going to be screeching about how impossibly hard that fight is. It's too hard, it's unbalanced. Time is a flat circle. And you know how I know this? Because it happened in the other games too. It happened in World, and it happened in Rise, and it happened in Iceborne, and it happened in Sunbreak. The pattern repeated over and over and over again. Oh, this game is too easy. Title update, this game is too hard. So, patience, my young Padawans. Patience. It will come. Guaranteed. Anyway, I'm going to let Livestream Blunty run through the rest of the fight here so you can hear my first impressions and reactions to Zoshia. Thanks for watching, I'm Blunty. Thank you to the patrons, and we'll catch you next time. Do it, don't do it, don't do it! Man, he's got a long tail, doesn't he? Jesus, was it always that long, or did it get longer when he enraged? left it! Uncooked his head. Damn it.
Doing something in the area. Not good.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm hiding. I'm hiding here. Gotta be safe, right? Oh, not safe.
It's like an inferno!
It's behaving differently. Be careful.
Okay. Jesus, that was cool. Oh fuck, I'm dead. Divine blessing. Yay!
Leave this to me. Heals inbound.
Cannot open any wounds on him. Oh fuck. I'm fine. Bravest Sharpen ever. I can't believe I got away with that. That's ridiculous. see anything. My whole world was fire. Wait, can I not? Can I restock here? I can restock here.
Let's check over your equipment and get you resupplied.
No way.
His true form. I wound you now without all your shell.
Almost there.
Yes, I can. Haha. Saw a wound here somewhere. Is it closed already? Oh, getting that too. Up. Wound.
Get a load of
Stamina.
these.
Stamina. Savage Axe! Woo! Isn't done yet. Fuck. Oh, no. Can't block that. Flinching. Certainly more intense than the first time I faced Energiva. Fuck me, that looks cool. Shit. Oh, got him. Woo. Yeah, I can see why people are annoyed that you can only do that fight once. That was good. They better add it in as an event quest bloody soon, I'll tell you that much. Alright, I came in without stocking up. I had one cart after, what, 15 minutes, call it? And then finished him off. I think I can hold my head up high. And, by the way, you'll notice I never once used my secret, not even to sharpen. That was brave sharpen all the way. Whew. Yeah, that's definitely a better fight than Zeno. It's just way better. Like, Zeno's not a bad fight, but that's far better. Far better. What happened to karting? I got on the zone. I got on the zone and I got confident. I mean, we did kart once, but yeah. You know, it was a 20-minute fight. I got my time with him. What a shame we didn't get a good end screen, though. That's just a mishmash of polygons. Yeah, it's like a giant Gormagala body. And sort of Fatalis and... Well, I don't know about Kieran. He wasn't that really... Kieran's kind of pouncy. I always remember Kieran as pouncy. But it did have the floor spread kind of stuff. I guess that's what you're getting at. Kieran kicked my ass the first time. Just obliterated me. So I was wearing armor that was like -8 weak to fucking thunder, so... that didn't help first time I faced him. That was actually probably one of the best boss fights. So the boss fights, you either get a spectacle fight or you get a monster fight. And you had the what was the big fella from Sunbreak again? That was a really fun fight, but that was a spectacle fight, not a proper monster fight, really.
You chose a path.
This was a really nice balance of both those things. Guys, McCall, that's who I was thinking of. That was a fantastic spectacle fight. I really liked that, but it wasn't. You know, you weren't spending a lot of time fighting him as a monster, really. It was just, there we go, and there's credits. Yeah, no, Guys McGon was fun every time. Like the first time was amazing spectacle. Replay fights, grind him or just, you know, help out randos. Always a fun fight. Xenogeether, again, I didn't hate it. And I don't, you know, lament doing it if I just find it on the SOS and, well, alright, I'll pop in there and do it. But yeah, it's not as fun as that one was. Yeah, if you've never played a Monster Hunter game, this is the end. If you have played a Monster Hunter game, this is the beginning. So, yeah, I think from character creation to credits roll, this is easily more fun than Rise or World, or even their expansions, really. Like Sunbreak have had awesome fun. You go through the start of Sunbreak to the end of its story, that was fantastic fun. I think this still might beat it out. I'll have to wait until the honeymoon period wears off. And I've, you know, done a replay or two to be absolutely sure about it, but yeah. That's a fun ride. 24 hours to get through low rank. Yeah, sure. This game has no content. Ridiculous. I feel so sorry for the people who burned through this game in less than 15 hours.